In the bottom left corner of Everdream, as the blue Terran, it's Vindicta. And in the top right from RNG Pro, it's the green Zerg prototype. If I recall correctly, Proto got knocked out in the round of 8 in the King of the Virgin RNG Pro tournament. It was open to Risen and Team Gosu members, as well as members of the RNG Pro team. Above 5100 and 5100 MMR. There's some pretty fierce competition going on, so look, that was his latest tourney result, alright? I got the honor of casting that, so Vindicta is gonna bring a pretty hard game. Proto says he's never beat Vindicta before. Not ever. When I talked to him a bit before. So, see what kind of game he can bring to the table. Your standard Reaper expand from Vindicta, standard hatch first turn prototype. This is a round of 64 match, so the winners go on to the round 2. Vindicta will get the hatch block. Just trying to get the Overlord. Well, it should reach safety. Plenty of time. Proto's hatch is going to be a little bit delayed. Just a few seconds. Like 4. Vindicta is going into Hellion Harass. Reactor on barracks. Factory behind it. And it looks like it's going to be a Banshee from Vindicta. So over the past 3 weeks or so, Beastie Cutie made a YouTube video, so now all the Terrans be like, ah, yes, we open Banshee. Indeed. It doesn't matter if you're going into mech, it doesn't matter if you're going into bio, they're like, if we get Banshee, we can be safe against Rochal, and wow, incredible. And it's like the, what are they called? The, you know, the Pernergo Burr guys, the Feels man. I'm trying to remember the name of them. I don't know. I'll call back to it if I remember. But Proto is getting out some queens, 10 Zerglings to defend this. I mean, I know you need those Zerglings at like 4.5 minutes, but I think Proto making these a little bit early. Yeah, he's gonna go for the surround on the Hellions and counterattack into the natural of his opponent, I think. Yes, indeed he is. So, you know, these 5 Hellions united, 10 sets of Lings aren't enough to deal with the Hellions can out-micro the Lings, but when you pick off 2 Hellions right away and there's just 4 left, they're going to be stuck in the corner. They're not on your side of the map harassing. This Banshee is going to go across for some counter pressure, and Vindicta is going into third base. Cloak's on the way for him, as is Stim. And Cloak should be hitting as the Banshee arrives on this side of the map, but Prototype already has safety spores up. Banshee is deflected. Second one is on the way, but already half the health gone off this first Banshee. It's going to go... Well, it's not going to go do anything, actually. It will see these Lings running across the map. 3 Hellions are here to defend the wall. So, Prototype's gonna pull back. He drops a 4th base, but has no way to defend it. Doesn't have Queens in position or any, Spore nearby, anything like that. So, the 4th is going to get cancelled. That was a super early 4th anyway, going down at the 5:30 mark. Usually you're looking to throw down that 4th base between the 6-minute, 6:30 marks. Vindicta's able to get a queen kill. Proto throws down a 4th base again. This is totally undefended. Vindicta's run out of energy on his Banshee though, so he shouldn't be able to shut it down this time. And it's still a little bit early for Prototype. Vindicta's gonna move out his 3rd base. But he doesn't have too much of an army back home to defend this, actually. The Lynx see the 3rd base move out. If Prototype has any idea of how tiny this army is, he could totally Link Flood, move across the map, and take the blue Terran down. But the Fog of War can be a cruel mistress. Will he figure out what's going on and react to it appropriately? Vindicta's going for a Marine tank push. Proto is getting out Baneling speed. He has 11 Banelings morphing in. 18 Banelings morphing in. He's gonna need a Link shield to wrap around the tanks, though. Alright. The first tank is wrapped around. A lot of the bio goes down. This is a very nice defense here from Prototype. Just getting up that creep shield to force these tanks to siege further and further back. Vindicta will clean up some of the tumors, but it's not actually going to affect the creep that much. There's still Banelings to defend here for Prototype, as he gets out 18 more Zerglings to shield for them, and there's no tanks here to anchor this attack from Vindicta. Once those Lings pop, Prototype's going to be able to transform and roll out. Vindicta is just rallying reinforcements across map. The Banelings crash into the tank. Hydras will clean up the tank, but Vindicta just has so many Marines. Proto has a little bit of army supply left over to continue holding this. Actually, army supply is pretty even. +2 Carapace, +2 melee is about to hit for the Zerg. Plus 2-2 is a little bit far off here from Vindicta, so I think he will be pushed back if he continues the sustained aggression. A double medevac drop is going for Prototype's main. The main is rather undefended, however, a creep tumor will see this as the medevacs unload, so Prototype is going to have time to respond. Some Lings try to get a run-by going. They will run by, but does Prototype have enough at home to defend? I mean, sure, he's going to defend this drop in the main, but Vindicta's pushing in from the other side, and he is going to attack the 3rd of Prototype. Prototype splits off the Hydra. He didn't get any kills on these medevacs, so Vindicta is going to be trying to pull Prototype apart here. But I think Prototype pulled enough forces to defend against both sides of the attack. Did he, though? Where'd the Banelings go? Oh man, he pulled the Banelings to the front. He thought it was going to be a bigger attack than it was. It simply wasn't, so he's going to lose a couple of Hydra, but his economy remains unharassed. Vindicta is getting up a 4th CC. It's moving out some more Marine tank, and he's pulled ahead 92 army supply to 64, but like I said, for a little while, Prototype is going to be ahead in upgrades and able to trade with the bio very well. Vindicta's got to make sure he doesn't get over here. He's going to try and pick off this 5th hatch. Proto's being careful how he engages. There's only one tank sieged here for Vindicta right now, but with second tank siege, and third and a fourth about the siege. Ooh! Some great Baneling connections here for the Zerg. Vindicta is still in the lead, but Proto isn't out of this yet. Another okay Baneling connection. Plenty more where that came from. Proto has to figure out how to dislodge the siege tank line, though. 6 tanks here for Vindicta, and Proto just can't get rid of them, so the bio is going to be able to take out the 5th hatch as Vindicta establishes his 4th CC. More Lings are on the way, which should be enough to overrun this tank position, but Prototype moves in without them. He's only able to kill 1 tank and pretty much no Marines, at a great loss of Banelings to himself. Vindicta's pretty confident, knowing he picked off all the Banelings of the Zerg. Bio is very aggressively positioned and is going to cut down a lot of the Hydralisk, a lot of the Banelings while they're morphing in. This is it. This is a last-ditch push out from Prototype, but it's not going to be enough. It's 30 army supply to 80, and Vindicta will kill the 4th base of Prototype. Prototype is making a hatch to the right side, but once this 4th base falls, the economy is going to swing so far in favor of Vindicta. Vindicta splits well enough that only 1 Baneling trades out for each Marine taken down. These medevacs are out of energy pretty much, except the back one, but GG is called. In the top right corner of Eternal Empire, it's the blue Terran, Vindicta, and in the bottom left, as the green Zerg, it's Prototype. The early game seemed really close, but as we entered the mid-game, Vindicta eventually overran Prototype. Prototype seemed really impatient to dislodge the siege tanks, and so continuously engaged without a link shield for his Banelings, and that resulted in the only things available to splash into the tanks. There were a couple times there where Prototype had like 40 Lings about to pop, but instead of waiting for the list, went with only the Baneling Hydra. That allowed Vindicta to keep picking off a couple extra Banelings, a couple extra Hydra every time Prototype pushed out, secure the victory. Hatch pool finishes her Prototype. Here comes the Reaper. 4 Lings coming out for the Zerg. They're gonna do their little dance. Proto goes for 3rd base. There's an SCV here to intercept, so this is going to be a delay on the hatch. Maybe. Yeah. Vindicta will lose this little engagement, but the Reaper's here to save the day. Reaper forces an extractor, but the Lings zone the Reaper out, so Prototype gets his 3rd base down relatively on time. SCV falls for Vindicta, but he's going to kill a Ling in balance. Hellion Harass is up next for our blue Terran. Proto will lose his scouting. Lord sees the starport, swap onto the tech lab. He's got to be certain that Banshees are coming. I'm sure we will see safety spores in about 30 seconds or so. Double Evo chamber from Prototype as he gets into upgrades. Proto's trying to catch Hellions unawares. Is he though? No, I think he's going to try and hit the natural as Vindicta moves in with his Hellion Reaper. Vindicta does have four Hellions here to defend, and there's not enough links to take them down. But Proto stopped Vindicta from swinging into his drone line, and that means he's going to feel safe to begin saturating that third base. Melee and Carapace are on the way for Prototype. Vindicta went for an armory behind this. He's going to go for a Hellbat Banshee attack, but I don't know how successful it's going to be. There's just too many queens, and there's no medevac to heal up. The first queen has fallen. Transfuse is gone, but the Lings are going to buy time for more Lings to get out. And the Hellbats have done no economic damage. They're going to get in on the third, though. No, they aren't. They aren't going for the drone line. Uh-oh, SpaghettiOs. Banshee is heavily wounded too. It doesn't want to get in range of the Spore Crawler. In fact, I think it's on hold position. Only like 3 drones fell there, I think. There's still a queen left to fight. Now, Prototype's production is going to be hurt a little bit due to the delay on these injects. The single surviving Hellbat is chasing the drones. In the meantime, Prototype has counterattacked into the blue Terran's wall. Vindicta should be able to hold the pressure, but this Reaper is actually doing more damage than all those Hellbats combined. You know what? Those Hellbats only killed 1 drone because we do have Game Heart. Caster, fail. Proto might Baneling bust here. Wait, did he make a Baneling nest? He did. He did make a Baneling nest. You know what? I take that back. Proto's droning hard. I think he's just going to get Baneling speed. Take a 4th. The 4th is actually pretty late in this game. Proto throws down a Hydra Den. Yeah, that's exactly what he's going to do. Oh, wait, no, he's swinging the Lings around to attack the 3rd, but I don't think he can engage this much bio. He recognizes that as well. He's going to back out. Vindicta starts building up this 3rd base. Proto takes a 4th. Vindicta cleans up a lot of the creep that's defending Prototype's third, but there's no siege tanks to anchor these Marines. Well, there's one siege tank. I spoke a little bit, but Vindicta can't sustain an assault on the third, at least not for now. 2 more medevacs are coming to join the initial attack force, and this many Marines can definitely sustain an attack on the third. Prototype's trying to catch the Marines without the tank sieged. Not able to do so. He is replenishing some of this creep at the front. Vindicta's actually going to swing around and attack Proto's 4th base. But the tanks aren't sieged up. If Proto goes now, he might be able to break this. Banelings. Oh, he doesn't commit. I guess he felt Vindicta was too split. But this is giving me deja vu of game number 1. A lot of Marines are cleaned up here. Hydra in the back are going to pick off the final siege tank, and now his Marines are a little bit exposed. Proto has plenty of forces left. Unfortunately, he does have Fog of War, though, so there's a little bit of dramatic irony, as we know what a tough spot Vindicta's in, while Prototype does not. Proto is going into Infestation Pit. 2-2 are about to hit, but they're not going to hit soon enough, and there's not enough Banelings left with these Hydra. Vindicta's united his forces. He's going to continue pushing in. Prototype needs to get more Banelings and get them fast. Vindicta got a little bit overeager with his forward tank, and Prototype has more than enough Hydra to clean up here. Siege tank doesn't get off a second shot. The Marines are going to be run down. Proto is heavily ahead in army supply. Vindicta is on 4-base against a 4-base Zerg, though, and this location is going to be very secure once the planetary finishes up, which is only in a matter of seconds. Prototype is transitioning into Hive Tech. +3 weapons are on the way for the bio. There isn't that much bio, but 2 tanks are a little bit much for this many Hydra to engage into. They are, of course, well, this one at least is protected by high ground vision, which Prototype does not have. Wow. I somehow made that sentence work. Church bells are going off in the background, despite social distancing. Prototype attempts a Baneling run by, but it's not able to get a connection with the SCV. Vindicta is pre-splitting. I think he's expecting Prototype to push into it. Oh, Vindicta needs to be really careful about going that far and on creep against the Zerg. He was trying to bait Prototype out. Banelings do connect with the planetary, but only take out 2 SCVs. Vindicta's too quick on the draw. Vindicta has regained the army supply lead here. Upgrades are even on both sides. Oh, great Baneling connections with the bio, but there's way too many tanks in the background, and Prototype is overextended. 30 more Lings are on the way for the Green Zerg, but this 5th base is forfeit. Vindicta stims in, and there's nothing Prototype can do about it. There's the cancel. Proto's holding on for dear life. He gets a few of the medevacs, gets a lot of the bio as well, but this tank line is just... you can't dislodge it. Prototype needs something like Broodlords to get rid of this, which he should have by the 14-minute mark. Fortunately, he does not, and Vindicta takes the series 2